This is quite possibly the most attractive 4K ultra short throw laser projector that we have seen. This design is just so over the top, it's absolutely stunning. And everything that you're seeing is made of metal. This thing weighs a ton. But is it any good? Let's find out. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. So when JMGO reached out to me to do this video, I had to be honest, I'd never heard of them. I did a little bit of research and this thing is called the JMGO U2. No, that's not the U2, the projector is called the JMGO U2. Anyway, thanks to UK Customs, they'd already half unpacked it for me and this is how it arrived, but hey, it still looked incredible. And I do have to say, right at the very start of this video I said it, but manually holding this thing, feeling it, looking at it, it's huge, it's heavy, but it is absolutely just ridiculously stunning. It is the most well-engineered projector that I've ever tested, and I've looked at a number in my time. It's got these incredible speakers which offer 3D surround sound, but we'll look at those in a few moments too. So I do have to say it's 10 out of 10 for design. Now this only costs just over $2,000 and there are reasons for that which I'll come on to in a little while. But if you needed to get an idea of just how big this projector is, well, we looked at the WeMax 4K ultra short throw projector a few weeks ago and this is it. As you can see, it's probably half the size of the JMGO, so there's a big difference. You also get an accessory pack which comes with the power cable and obviously the remote control. It's nice to see that the remote control is a USB-C, so you can self-charge it and you don't have to keep on replacing batteries. Right, let's get this thing set up. The projector is running its own software, and one of the first things I really like about it is you're presented with the main screen having your sources. So I've got HDMI 1 being my PS5 and HDMI 2 is my Apple TV. So here you can easily switch between the two and then just click to the right and then you can go into the full screen on each of them. So I think it's a very welcoming page setup. At the bottom you've got all of your other settings. Here on the settings screen you can see you can just run down the left hand side and then you can make the adjustments. I'm going to talk about the actual picture setting and the picture setup in a few moments, so just bear with me for that, but all of the main settings are in this menu system. File is access to the file system, and here if you had an SD card attached via the USB you can access it from here. Signal probably should mean source instead of signal because it's the source signal, so you can go in and then adjust which input you want. And then the JMGO is to get the app, and here you can download the app which is just in testing stage at the moment. There is an app store as well which has got many different applications. It's presented in again a nice layout, nice and clear. There isn't too much going on the screen, which I think is really good. And it's probably more similar to Apple TV with big icons. Click over to the right and it's got your featured applications, and then you can go down, it's got most popular, and again it's very easy to navigate, so there's nothing wrong with this. Once you've chosen your application you can simply install it, and then on the home screen, the next row down, you'll see them all listed there. At the moment I've just got a few there, which is YouTube, Smart YouTube and HBO Max. The eShare server is where you can use your phone as a wireless keyboard or mouse. You just go in and log into your network. Very simple to do. Now, just before we talk about picture setup, I did want to just cover one more thing, and that is how almost silent this projector is. It is less than 28 decibels. And I'm going to be quiet now and see whether you can pick up any noise at all. My camera is right next to the projector. So you probably didn't hear anything, and believe me, if you're listening or watching anything on this thing, you will not hear the fan noise, even if you're right next to the projector. It's incredible. In my opinion, the most important thing that you need to know about this projector is the fact that it's a fixed lens, there is no autofocus, and there are no electronic adjustments at all. Now, how does that affect you? Well, what it means is that you have to have the perfect size screen. JMGO say that that is 100 inches. Anything slightly higher or slightly lower will mean that the focus will be slightly off, and because there is no autofocus, you want it to be right. I imagine there will be a degree of tolerance, but 100 inches is the sweet spot. There is also no keystone correction, and there is no ability to drag the corners of the screen in, so you need to make sure it's at the right height as well. Here I've got an issue where I've got the picture slightly hanging over the screen, and I think that's down to the height of the projector. Now, because I've not got this as a permanent arrangement, it's just on the stand that I normally use, I probably could do with it being a little bit higher, so that can be solved. There are these little guides that you can pull out, and that gives you the perfect position away from the wall, which is a nice feature. I'm not sure how important it is. Once you have got the projector in the right position, well, then you shouldn't have a problem. And I think that this is probably more set up for people that want to have a permanent cinema screen setup rather than an occasional user that pulls out a projector for just some events. It would be frustrating as hell to have to keep on setting this up. So that is something which you really need to be aware of. Once you have got it set up, and I was thinking about this, then, well, there's no need to move it, and so there is no necessarily a problem. But make sure you're aware, 100 inches is the sweet spot, and you obviously need to make sure that it's in the right position. Now, in terms of daylight, as you can see, I've got the blind open. I think it does a great job. This is just a review unit that I've got, and there will be some software glitches. I had obviously that issue about the bars over the edge, but you know, it wasn't necessarily a big deal. But I think the picture quality, considering it is so bright, is actually very, very impressive. But it's when we then close the blind, as you can see now, it's looking an awful lot better. And in a second, I'm going to turn the light out, and also I'm going to let you hear the sound of this projector, because that is a big factor.
Copy that.
For competitive gaming, and if you're playing online, then the input lag at 128 milliseconds is going to be too high. But if you're just an occasional gamer, or you're just playing round the track of Abu Dhabi like that, then it's not going to be a problem. Now I'm going to crank up the volume. Now I'm recording this from around 10 feet away. Let me know what you think in the comments. By the way, any flicker you see on the screen is down to camera frequency. You don't see that in reality. So without doubt, it's definitely the best sound that I've heard on any projector. That's probably something to do with the size of the projector. I wasn't really getting the surround sound effect, but then that's impossible, I think, just with two front speakers anyway. But yep, it was great. It sounded very good indeed. Now I'm going to go through some of the specs about this projector in a few moments, but my summary really is that once you've got it set up, once it's in position, it does a very good job. If you're going to be moving it about and not actually having it in the same position all the time, and so it's an occasional use, well, I'd probably go for something different, because this could be a little bit of a pain. But if you've got a dedicated room or dedicated position where you just want this big screen, it's great for daytime viewing, and it's exceptional at night. This is a close-up, and as you can see, it is pretty darn good. Okay, let's now have a look at some of the tech specs for this projector. So the projector uses 4K pixel shifting technology, which is very similar to most of the others on the market at the moment. It has that tri-color laser, which gives you hopefully that better color reproduction. The fixed lens and the screen size is something which we covered quite in detail in this review, and it's important for you to remember that. The lumens, you know, this is a bright projector, whether it's operating in daylight or at night. The adaptive brightness is something which, as I put the blind up, it automatically kicked in. I believe that you can actually just adjust that and have that turned off. And this projector does also support Dolby Audio. The lamp life with a laser projector is reported to be up to 50,000 hours, so should last most people a long enough period of time. And you've got that Dyn Audio system, which is incredibly good. Another thing we mentioned was the quietness of this projector. 28 decibels is absolutely brilliant. You've got the eye protection system where it turns off as you get close to it, and you have that JMGO operating system, so you don't actually need anything like a third-party device, but I would still recommend that. You have one HDMI which supports audio return channel and a second HDMI, and this projector also has 3D support. So finally guys, in summary, I would say that if you can get over the fact that you have to position this projector in exactly the right position and it has to only be 100 inches, well then this could be perfect for you because it looks absolutely fantastic and it is very affordable. Let me know what your thoughts are guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that red button. Look forward to seeing you on the next video guys. Take care of yourselves.